Santiago del Carmen Maria, the queen of crowning thoughts. I speak truth unapologetically. It's my
GM axes over 1,100 workers in brutal layoffs as EV dreams crash and burn. Workers are seething with rage in 2026. As of January 11, 2026, the American auto industry is hemorrhaging jobs, and General Motors just delivered a gut punch to hundreds of families. The company has permanently laid off more than 1,100 workers at its flagship Factory Zero plant in Detroit, Hamtramck, slashing production to a single shift starting January 5. This isn't some minor adjustment. It's a full-scale retreat from the electric vehicle future GM hyped for years, leaving dedicated auto workers furious, betrayed, and scrambling for survival. Factory Zero was supposed to be the shining star of GM's all-EV strategy, churning out GMC Hummer EVs, Chevy Silverado EVs, and other high-profile electric models. Promoted as a beacon of new American manufacturing, the plant reopened with fanfare less than 5 years ago. Workers poured in massive overtime, often 72 to 80 hours a week in 2024, enduring grueling schedules only to face irregular temporary layoffs and now permanent cuts. The UAW reports these layoffs have wiped out about half the membership at Local 22, devastating the community in one of America's poorest big cities, Detroit, where poverty already crushes families. This bloodbath extends beyond Detroit. At Ultium Cells battery plants in Lordstown, Ohio, and Spring Hill, Tennessee, GM is imposing mass layoffs, 200s permanent, over 2,000 temporary or indefinite as battery production pauses for months. In Lordstown alone, more than 1,300 workers got hit, mostly battery assembly operators, with many facing indefinite uncertainty. GM claims it's realigning. Due to slower EV adoption after federal incentives expired in late 2025, but let's call it what it is: corporate greed prioritizing profits over people. Here's the infuriating part: GM is swimming in cash while axing jobs. The company posted record profits of $14.9 billion in 2024 and raised 2025 projections to $12.13 billion. Stock prices soared. Shareholders got billions in dividends and buybacks, yet executives blame evolving regulatory frameworks and lower EV demand. CEO Mary Barra talks about acting swiftly to address overcapacity. To cut EV losses in 2026, but workers see straight through it. They built the future GM promised, and now they're discarded like yesterday's parts. The broader auto market tells a damning story. While GM led U.S. sales in 2025 with about 285 million vehicles, up over 5% from 2024, the fourth quarter crashed hard, sales down nearly 7%, EVs plummeting 43% after the tax credit vanished. Overall, U.S. new vehicle sales hit around 16.3 million in 2025, the best since 2019, but analysts forecast a drop to 15.8 million in 2026, a 4% decline driven by affordability nightmares, high prices, average transaction nearing $50,000, weak job growth, and policy chaos from tariffs and regulatory shifts. Consumers are squeezed. Persistent inflation, stagnant wages for many, and sky-high borrowing costs make new cars feel like a luxury. EV hype faded fast without subsidies, pushing buyers back to gas-powered trucks and SUVs, GM's strong suits like Silverado and Sierra, but even those can't save jobs when overcapacity bites. Tariffs threaten to jack up costs further, UNcut renegotiations loom, and the labor market weakens, creating a perfect storm of uncertainty. Workers aren't taking this lying down. Voices from the floor are loud and angry. They treat us like we're disposable, one said. Others slam the UAW leadership for silence or complicity, especially after backing policies that accelerated the pain. Rank-and-file frustration boils over, calls for real action, not empty promises. These aren't just statistics. They're families facing lost health care during the holidays, forced relocations, or selling homes to survive. In Detroit, where child poverty hits 51%, these cuts deepen the crisis. This is classic corporate America. Hype a green revolution, rake in subsidies, then bail when profits dip, leaving workers to pay the price. GM's EV pivot was sold as job-creating progress, but it's become a jobs-destroying fiasco. The system rewards executives and shareholders while punishing the people who actually build the cars. Enough. Auto workers deserve better, full pay and benefits during layoffs, no forced transfers, real job security, and accountability from bosses who pocket billions. Fight back. Organize rank-and-file committees, demand transparency, strike if needed, and push for policies that protect workers, not just profits. The auto industry isn't collapsing, it's being restructured to squeeze more from the bottom while the top feasts. Time to flip the script. Mass layoffs exploding in 2026. The job market is crumbling, and workers are paying the price. Wake up, America. This isn't a slowdown. It's a full-on collapse of the job market in 2026, and the carnage is just getting started. As we hit mid-January, companies across every sector are slashing jobs at a brutal pace, leaving families devastated, savings drained, and futures shattered. We're talking thousands of workers thrown out on the street in the first weeks alone, with no mercy from corporate boardrooms obsessed with profits, AI automation, and cost-cutting at any human cost. This isn't random bad luck. It's a deliberate restructuring where the wealthy elite hoard billions while regular people fight to survive. The numbers are damning. U.S. employers announced over 1.2 million job cuts in 2025 alone, the highest since the pandemic outside major crises. And 2026 is already mirroring or exceeding that nightmare. December 2025 saw a dip to around 35,000 announced cuts, the lowest in months. But that's cold comfort when the year-end surge hit historic highs. And early 2026 filings show hundreds more in logistics, manufacturing, retail, and beyond. Over 2,200 workers got hit in the first days of the new year from facility closures, lost contracts, and bankruptcies in rail, parcel delivery, food production, and e-commerce. We're seeing surges in Texas, with nearly 600 notices in the first quarter, and nationwide patterns of mass terminations that spare no industry. Major players are leading the bloodbath. General Motors axed over 1,100 at its factory's Zero EV plant in Detroit, gutting half the local union membership while shifting to single-shift production. UPS is closing facilities and laying off hundreds more, part of a broader 48,000 job cut plan through restructuring and robotics. FedEx, Amazon delivery partners, and others are dumping drivers and support staff. In manufacturing, Tyson Foods is shuttering plants and eliminating thousands for supply chain efficiencies. Tech isn't immune. Angie slashed 350 jobs citing AI-driven efficiencies to save $70.80 million annually, while Tailwind gutted its engineering team because AI tanked their revenue. Over 100 companies, from Nike and Verizon to Amazon extensions, filed warn notices signaling more pain ahead. AI is the silent killer accelerating this disaster. Corporations are openly blaming or proudly crediting artificial intelligence for replacing white-collar roles, from customer service to routine analysis. Predictions for 2026 scream that agents and automation will displace millions, turning productivity gains into mass unemployment. Companies frame these cuts as forward-thinking, but it's greed, overhiring during boom times, then slashing when margins tighten, all while pocketing record profits. Economists warn of a jobless growth era where output soars, stocks climb, and workers get discarded. Tariffs, economic uncertainty, and policy chaos only fuel the fire, hitting retail, services, and manufacturing hardest. The human toll is heartbreaking. Unemployment ticked to 4% in December 2025, with long-term jobless up sharply and part-time for economic reasons surging. People are applying to hundreds of jobs with zero callbacks, wages stagnant while costs explode, and consumer confidence in the gutter. Young workers, minorities, and blue-collar families bear the brunt. Black unemployment at 7.5%, teenagers at 15.7%. This isn't recovery. It's a rigged system where executives cash bonuses and shareholders feast while everyday Americans face eviction, skipped meals, and shattered dreams. This corporate assault is unacceptable. Workers built these companies, endured the pandemic, and now get repaid with pink slips. Demand real protections. Stronger unions, bans on mass AI displacement without retraining, fair severance, and policies that prioritize people over profits. Fight back, organize, boycott gougers, vote for accountability, and build solidarity. The job market isn't cooling, it's being weaponized against us. We won't go quietly, follow so we can stay connected. Your support matters more than you know, and I appreciate every moment you give to listen. Your support is important to me, and it helps me a lot. It keeps me active, bringing you important information with your support and comments, likes and shares. Feel free to like, support, and subscribe. I will always provide content for you. I appreciate every support you give. Crowning Thoughts, True Speaker, copyright 2025 by Santiago D.C. Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all and I appreciate each of you. Stay blessed. Thank you for listening. Love always. Santiago D.C. Maria.